Hello, welcome to Centennial Hall, room 3301. This is a basic rundown of the technology in the room. This room is equipped with one of our Geffen lecture capture style recorders. This video will not cover the operation of this recorder, so if you are looking for instruction on that, please go to our website or contact Academic Technology Services for assistance with the Geffen recorder. The basic functions of the room are mostly controlled with the touch panel here. We're at the main screen, the log-on screen, and there's a button here that says press here to begin. When I press it, it gives me the option to power up the projector or power up without using the projector. I'll go ahead and click yes. That's going to put our screen into a waiting system, and it takes about a minute for everything to happen. The projector powers up and the screen comes down, but it does take a little while. So while that's happening, let's go ahead and take a look at the lighting presets. On the right-hand side of the touch panel are our 5 lighting presets. The first one is all lights on. The next 2 are our lecture settings, one with the whiteboard and one without the whiteboard lights. The fourth one is the theater lights that'll dim all the lights, and the last one is all lights off. We can also control those lights from our controller here on the wall. There are 5 buttons, and those 5 buttons correspond with the 5 presets that we just talked about. And there's also a master on-off switch right at the door where you come in. Another thing we can talk about while we're booting up here is the wireless microphone. The room has a wireless microphone, and if I click it on using the switch at the top of the unit, then whatever I say into the microphone is going to be reinforced in the room. It sounds just a little bit loud to me, and so the way that we can adjust that is now that the system has booted up, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner a button labeled Audio Control. When I press that button, I get a bunch of options. The farthest 2 options are our wireless microphones. I can turn it up, turn it down, or mute it. And when I get it set to the level that I like, I go ahead and hit the back button to get back to my main screen. When I'm all done with the wireless microphone, this is just a reminder to make sure and power it off, because even if you're not using it, the battery will completely drain if it's left on. Okay, so now we're at our main source select screen here. Up on the top row here are the different things that we can put onto the screen in the front of the class. Right now you'll notice that PC is selected, and I have the PC booted up. In order to log on to the PC when you come into the room, you're going to need to use your UWL, the first part of your UWL email address as the username, and then the password will be your UWL net ID. And then once you get logged onto the computer and you select it as a source, it's going to show up on the screen for us. The next 2 sources on our list here are both laptop sources. The first one is labeled just laptop, and that will be our VGA connection. The next one is our digital laptop, or it's labeled HDMI laptop. And all the connections that we need to make those things occur are down here in our little cable cubby here. There's even a power supply over here, so you can plug right in. You don't have to rely on your battery. My laptop that I have here uses a VGA connection, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that cable out and plug it into my laptop. Then I'll take the audio cord and I'll plug that into the headphone jack on my laptop. And then my laptop should be ready to go. So I'll come over here to the touch panel and I'll hit the button labeled laptop to select the laptop. And then my laptop should show up on the screen. Now if your laptop doesn't come on right away, it's probably because you haven't set it to the right mode, and you can do that in your control panel, or you can use the shortcut on a Windows keyboard, which is to hold down the function key and then press the F8 key. On my computer, it brings up a nice little menu here where I choose the duplicate mode. On yours, you might just have to click through F8 a couple of times for it automatically to switch to those modes. And then whatever I'm showing on my screen will show up on the big screen in front of the class. The next source available for us is the Blu-ray source. When I press the Blu-ray button on our touch panel, it gives us our Blu-ray controls. On the left here is our play and our pause and our stop type buttons. On the right are our navigation controls and our menu buttons. This button says full screen video, and when I press that, I get a nice little preview of what I'm showing so that I don't have to crane my neck to see what I'm doing. I can click back to get to the main menu there, or to the main screen. Our Blu-ray is located right here on the right side of the teacher's desk underneath the document camera. You can use the front panel controls to control it as well. And I'll also mention that you can play regular DVDs or CDs in the Blu-ray player as well. They don't have to be Blu-ray discs in order to use the unit. This is a good time to mention the volume. Right now Blu-ray is selected, and so the volume control, which is this little knob at the bottom of the touch panel here, will turn our volume up and down of the Blu-ray player. Whatever you have selected is the only audio that you're going to hear, other than the microphone will be on at all times, but it's the only audio that you'll hear. So when you switch sources to PC, it's going to turn the volume up and down to the PC. If you switch to laptop, it'll turn the volume up and down for laptop, and so on. The next thing we have is the document camera. It's on the right-hand side of the desk. The power button is in the back part of the document camera. When I power it on, that light will flash green. When it's a solid green, I'll know that the document camera is ready to go. My advanced features are up here by the camera. I can zoom in and zoom out using the zoom wheel. And then I have my manual and autofocus and my other advanced features up here. After the document camera is ready to go, I can press the document camera button, located right here in our source select row, on the touch panel. And then the document camera will show up for us on the screen. And anything I do underneath the camera is going to show up for us. The last source that I'll mention here is the auxiliary source. And when I press that auxiliary button, I'm going to get a little sub-menu, and that's going to give me the choice between S-video and composite video. And those connections are once again down in the cable cubby for us. They share an audio source, but there's an S-video connection and a composite video connection. So if you had something like a video camera or you wanted to connect your iPod or something like that, you could plug it right into the cables here and select the source, and then you would be able to show whatever it is you have. On the left-hand side of our touch panel, we have a few more controls. There's one for projector power, if for some reason you wanted to power down the projector but leave the system up and running. There's a video mute button, which will just mute the video from the projector without powering anything down, and that would be a handy thing to use in conjunction with our screen up and screen down function. You could mute the video of the projector, put the screen up, then you could use the whiteboard without having to shut the system down, and when you're done, then you can unmute the projector and you can put the screen back down, and you don't have to wait for all that extra time it takes to actually power the system down and then wait for it to power back up. The fourth button is just a mute button to mute your microphones. And the last button is our help button. And if I press the help button here, it's going to give me the names and phone numbers of a couple members of the academic technology staff. And these are important numbers because if you ever have problems in the classroom, those are the numbers you're going to call to get help. Or if you ever have questions or need assistance with something, give those numbers a call as well. I'll go ahead and press OK here to get back to my main page. And when I do, we'll see that in the bottom right-hand corner, there's also a button labeled System Off. I'll go ahead and press that System Off button, then it's going to ask if I'm sure I want to power down. When I hit that power down button, it's going to turn the projector off, which is very important so that we can save the life of the projector bulb, and it's also going to put the screen back up for us. Once again, I'm going to remind you that if you ever have any questions or concerns, contact Academic Technology Services, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you.